Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Today, we're going to talk about mortgages. I have a friend, colleague, a mortgage specialist from the M2 mortgage team of Capital Lending, Melissa Pereira. I'm going to get her to tell you a little bit more about herself, but this video is going to talk about basically when you're buying and selling and the mortgage options that you have. And as we know, we just recently had a rate cut, but I'll let Melissa tell you about that as well with what's going on. So, Melissa Pereira, welcome. Say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Kev. Thank you so much for having me today. Super excited to be here and dive into all the things. So, I am Melissa. I am a level two mortgage agent and partner of the M2 mortgage team with Capital Home Lending. And my team and I believe in making the mortgage process as simple and easy as possible for our clients. We understand that mortgages can be very daunting and confusing and scary to many. And so, we're here to say it doesn't have to be. We believe in meeting our clients where they're at, whether they're first time home buyers or experienced investors. We're really here to hold their hand and walk them through the entire process from start to finish. So, when it comes to buying your next home and selling and buying, there's a lot more moving pieces to consider. As you already mentioned, there's different scenarios that you might run into. So, really excited to get into it.
So the one that I'm excited about right now, and I think a lot of people hopefully listening to this will be thinking about it right now because there's a big opportunity for those upsizers in the market right now. I've been talking to people recently about being able to afford that house that they couldn't afford a few
Yeah.
years ago, right? Everybody thinks about how the market is down and how if I sell my property, I'm not going to make as much. But the one thing I say to everybody about almost every topic is it doesn't matter what you spend or what you save. The number to be concerned about is what you're going to net at the end of everything.
hmm
So, for right now in our world, and I'll let you get into this more about the mortgage side of it and why upsizing and the advantages that they have with this, the way that the market is, if you're having a 20 or 15% drop in price point to what it was, yes, your house will sell for less. So let's do this with easy math. Let's say you had $1 million home. Now it's only going to sell for 800, but now the $1.8 million home is now going to sell for somewhere around 1.5. And you were able to qualify for 1.5 million, but you couldn't qualify for that 1.8. So there's opportunities for buyers right now, buyers and sellers to move up, right? Homeowners to move up in this situation where they're going to be able to afford something they couldn't afford when that price was higher. And they're all concerned about not being able to sell their property for the most. Anyways, that's the real estate side of upsizing. Melissa, why don't you talk to us from the mortgage point of view about what a seller or buyer, as they're doing both, needs to understand with their mortgage situation?
Of course, very well said, and you nailed it now. Like we're finding that clients are able to and are qualifying for more with the rates, having come down this year. So affordability is easier for our clients now, right? Even in those selling and buying situations. So for the scenario where a client is upsizing, so most cases, what's happening is they are relying on the proceeds of their sale for the down payment on the new property. So a huge part of the equation here is that we have to do a very deep dive into what we call a down payment calculation. So we figure out, how much are they anticipating to sell the property for, then we deduct, their current mortgage, legal fees, realtor fees, et cetera, et cetera. We land at a number, and that's going to determine what their down payment is for the new property. And that's ultimately how we qualify them for their new purchase.
What about somebody that's looking to buy something before they sell? Do we just use rough numbers, or how would you advise those clients?
I'm glad that you asked. So, what you're hinting towards is bridge financing. So, in this scenario, you are trying to close on your purchase before you close on your sale. But as we mentioned, you need the proceeds from your sale as the down payment, but you don't have that yet, right? So, this is what we call bridge financing. A few things to keep in mind. So, most lenders will offer you bridge financing options, but it's very important that you have that conversation with your mortgage professional. Um, so the caveat is, or the requirements are that you'll need a firm sale and a firm purchase. Okay, that's number one. Also, be mindful if you're changing ownership from one property to the other. So we can dive into that a little bit more if you'd like. But yeah, the long and the short is, or the short and the long is that there are bridge financing options to available. Just you have to have the conversation in advance.
And let's talk about what you're talking about removing people off title, because we were talking about this a little bit earlier, not on camera. But I think it's a great example and something that does happen and is going to happen more and more. So that people need to be aware about how this all goes.
Yeah, so scenario that will likely resonate with a lot of viewers is, let's say a parent helps their child. They co-sign, they act as a co-signer, and they help their child buy their first home. Now, they're earning a little bit more money. Their property's accumulated in value. Maybe now they're looking to buy with a partner. So now when they're buying their next home, the parent's intention is to be removed from title, right? And all that's fine. But again, it's important to have these in-depth and thorough conversations because there's going to be extra due diligence and other things that the lenders need to factor in and take into consideration. So, for example, let's say you need bridge financing, and so that down payment money is being used for your purchase, but technically part of the proceeds of that sale belong to the parent, technically legally. Um, and so they need to make sure and take extra steps, have the parents also sign for the bridge financing, even if they're not going to be on the purchase, because they have to authorize all of it. And, all that due diligence has to take place as well.
I say this with a lot of things. People think they know something that they maybe know a bit about, but they don't know everything about, and then they fill in the rest of what their brain kind of tells them.
Yeah.
Um, Please talk to an advisor, talk to a specialist when you're thinking about doing something, and give yourself that runway. Like I'm very sure, Melissa, you talk to clients months before they actually are getting into the situation to make sure that they know how to best proceed with something like that, right? Um,
Yeah. And what I will say, what I'll add to that is we're in your corner. So, one of the great things about working with like a mortgage agent through the broker channel is that, we're here helping you navigate the lenders, right? So if you go directly to your bank and if you say too much or show too much sometimes, they can't unsee it. And I'm not saying we don't do anything that's not kosher, but we help you navigate that and have the right conversations with the lenders.
Having multiple lenders too, right? Your bank
Yeah.
is only one lender. You have access to multiple lenders, banks, and other sources as well, which is a great thing about having a mortgage broker that is available to all these channels as well. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're finding it informative and useful, make sure to like, subscribe, share with a friend so that we can keep getting the information out there to Ontario landlords. And keep on joining us. We'll see you next time.